Picture a ladder connecting earth to heaven, where each step represents a level of unimaginable power. For over 1500 years, a secret document circulated through Europe's monasteries, describing this structure, a hierarchy that governs not just our world, but the entire cosmos. Have you ever felt that in difficult moments there was a presence by your side? A silent force that protects, guides, and inspires hope? Today, we're beginning our journey through the celestial hierarchy, and we'll meet those who walk closest to us, the angels. Starting with guardians who walk invisibly beside us, rising to messengers who changed the course of history, climbing to commanders who control the very forces of nature, and finally reaching beings so close to absolute power that their descriptions challenge human language itself. 9 orders, 3 levels, 1 structure that connects the most familiar to the most incomprehensible. But how is this vertical journey possible? Our story begins in the 6th century, in the dry lands of Syria. In an isolated monastery, a monk writes a treatise that will forever change how the West understands spiritual reality. But there's a mystery: he signs only as Dionysius the Areopagite, a name we know to be false. Why use a pseudonym? Maybe because what he was documenting was too dangerous to be attributed to someone living. Or maybe because he knew his work would challenge everything people believed about how the universe is organized. The manuscript traveled the trade routes, was copied in monasteries throughout Europe, influenced Thomas Aquinas, inspired Dante, and to this day remains the most detailed and systematic description of angelic hierarchy ever produced. But Pseudo-Dionysius didn't invent this structure. He was organizing something much older. A tradition that connects Ezekiel's impossible visions, Isaiah's burning seraphim, and Jacob's mysterious ladder. That's why our journey will begin not in the unreachable peaks of heaven, but right here, beside us. Because to reach those beings of pure fire who inhabit the top of creation, we first need to understand the invisible companions who walk with us. Pseudo-Dionysius's hierarchy is a perfect ladder. 9 steps organized in 3 groups of 3, because in ancient numerology, 3 times 3 represents absolute perfection. At the base, we find our 3rd triad, our closest companions. Angels, personal guardians who, according to the texts, walk beside every human being. Archangels, famous messengers whose names echo through history: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. Principalities, invisible protectors of entire nations, guardians of collective destinies. In the middle, the 2nd triad, the governors of the cosmos. Powers, angelic warriors fighting a war that humanity doesn't see. Virtues, architects of miracles, controllers of nature's very laws. Dominions, supreme commanders who coordinate all the lower orders. And at the top, the 1st triad, beings beyond human understanding. Thrones, bearers of absolute justice, described as wheels within wheels, covered in eyes. Cherubim, guardians of forbidden knowledge, creatures with 4 faces that defy all logic. And finally, the Seraphim, beings of pure fire, so close to God that their very descriptions make human language collapse. So the question remains: do we create these structures, or discover something that already existed? Is the angelic hierarchy human invention, or a map of a deeper order? Our journey through the 9 steps of the celestial hierarchy begins with the invisible companions who, according to ancient texts, have known you since before your birth. Perhaps you've never seen one, maybe you've never consciously felt their presence, but according to the oldest and most detailed hierarchy ever documented, you are not alone. There's a personal guardian by your side, an angel. And in the next episode, you'll discover who they are, how they act, and why your life may never have been as lonely as you imagined. Don't miss the next chapter of our journey into the hidden truths of the celestial hierarchy. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you can join us for Angels, our invisible companions.